Welcome, dear students, for the first lesson, how to avoid foolish opinions. It is an essay written by Bertrand Russell, a famous philosopher and logician, mathematician, and a scientist, and a great writer of this century. So let's go through the lesson. Let's first try to understand the biographical details of the author, Bertrand Arthur William Russell. His short name is Bertrand Russell. He was born on 18th May 1872 and he died on 2nd February 1970. He was a British polymath. Polymath means a person who is knowledgeable in many fields. Polymath means a person who is knowledgeable in many fields. I request all of you to take notebook and start writing the meanings of the difficult words I give also and the important points. Yaramati Krishna, you please switch off your video. So as an academic, he worked in philosophy, mathematics, and logic. His work has had a considerable influence on mathematics, logic, set theory, linguistics, artificial intelligence, cognitive science, computer science, type theory and type system. These are the modern theories in computer science, and various areas of analytic philosophy, especially logic, philosophy of mathematics, philosophy of language, epistemology, that means where the knowledge is related to analyzing based on facts and even analyzing the opinions of different people, and metaphysics. So let's see, Bertrand Russell was a great intellectual. He was into many fields, as I have mentioned. He was a mathematician, he was into logic, and he coined many new theories, and he laid foundation for the modern computer science. So Russell was also a public intellectual, historian, social critic, political activist, and a Nobel laureate. He received Nobel Prize also. Bertrand Russell was a public intellectual. That means he was a very good public speaker, historian. He wrote many essays, many books, and social critic. That means he made his essays on social culture, social, cultural, and historical aspects. So one such essay is given to us. Let us just try to know some other facts about his life. Russell was the author of more than 60 books. You can imagine how intelligent he was and how great writer he was. He wrote more than 60 books, which are considered the best in their respective fields: mathematics, computer science, logic, and artificial intelligence, and psychology. And he wrote more than 2,000 articles. Articles means essays written for newspapers, magazines, and journals. At present, we are looking into one such essay. Additionally, he wrote many pamphlets. Pamphlets are short write-ups, are short books, introductions. That means some of the writers write books. He writes introduction to the book and letters to the editor. He wrote thousands of letters, not just in hundreds or tens. He wrote thousands of letters to the editors of newspapers. That means expressing his opinions on many fields. One pamphlet titled "I Appeal Unto Caesar" the case of the conscientious objectors. That means some people do not want to enter into military by force. Such people are called conscientious objectors. So on behalf of such people, he wrote an anonymous pamphlet, the result of which is release of many such conscientious objectors from imprisonment. That means his writings have great influence on the modern society because he wrote on many fields. Bertrand Russell's works can be found in anthologies. Anthologies means collections of books and collections, including the collected papers of Bertrand Russell, which McMaster University began publishing in 1983. By March 2017, the collection of his shorter and previously unpublished works included 18 volumes. Volume means collection of many books. Such 18 bigger volumes were prepared and several more are in progress. That means all his writings are collected and now they started publishing once again into volumes. A bibliography in 3 additional volumes catalogs his publications. Bibliography means references to other books. For example, if I write a research article, I collect the facts from other books and I give the list of those books at the end of my article. That is called bibliography. The Russell Archives held by McMaster's William Ready Division of Archives and Research Collections possess over 40,000 of his letters. You can imagine in our lifetime, not even a single letter we write to our friends or parents. Of course, these days the habit of letters has gone, but he wrote 40,000 letters. That means to different intellectual persons, other scientists, and to newspapers and heads of countries like that. So you can understand the greatness of Bertrand Russell. So he wrote many essays. One such essay is given for us. In the meanwhile, I will give you the meanings of some difficult words. Please note them down. We came across certain difficult words. Understand, while talking about his biography. So please take a screenshot and start writing in your notebook now so that you will understand the meanings of these difficult words. Please take a notebook and start writing the meanings just for 5 minutes. Please note down, polymath, a person of wide knowledge or learning. That means a person who is knowledgeable in many fields is called polymath. Like Aristotle, Plato, and our own Rabindranath Tagore, those who have knowledge in many areas, not just one area, is called a polymath. Then philosophy. Philosophy means the study of the fundamental nature of knowledge. That means all our present day knowledge is offshoot of philosophy. Whether you are students of BA or BSc or even mathematics, you know the name of Aristotle, from whose literature many of our science books came or definitions came. So earlier, all the knowledge used to be in one name called philosophy. Philosophy doesn't mean religious books. It is the study of fundamental nature of knowledge. That means what is knowledge, what is the world, and how to understand the world. All your process comes under philosophy. Next, logic. This word we know. You must have logic, we say. So logic is reasoning conducted or assessed according to strict principles. That means sometimes we call people, Arey, you are talking without logic. That means without any reasoning or without any base, they go on arguing about something. But logic is based on fundamental principles. It has a reasoning. For example, you have one more paper called Analytical Reasoning Foundation course, wherein to give answer to a question, you think logically. Understand? So, next one, cognitive science. Cognitive science is the interdisciplinary scientific study of the mind. Whenever the word called cognitive comes, you have to think that it is related to mind. That means thinking power. And linguistics, the scientific study of language and its structure. Bhasha Sastramu. Understand? Linguistics is the study about language. Artificial intelligence relates to the modern, intelligence of the computers and modern gadgets, which almost are in similar way of our intelligence. That means they imitate human intelligence. Next, epistemology. This is the theory of knowledge, especially with regard to validity, scope, and the distinction between justified belief. So please note down the next slide also. Note down and take a screenshot and copy into your notebooks.
Hello. Hello.
Okay, so have you written this one? Metaphysics. Metaphysics is the branch of philosophy. That is, meta means beyond, outside. Outside physics means, that is, physics is something that is visible to us before our eyes. భౌతికంగా మనకు కనబడేది ఫిజిక్స్, అందుకనే భౌతిక శాస్త్రం అంటాం. మెటాఫిజిక్స్ మీన్స్ అధిభౌతిక శాస్త్రం అంటారు. దట్ మీన్స్ సంథింగ్ దట్ ఈజ్ బియాండ్ అవర్ ఇమాజినేషన్, beyond our visibility. That means something subjects related to God, religion, and even love. All those things come under metaphysics. Next, pamphlet. Pamphlet means, as I have already told you, a small booklet or leaflet containing information or argument about a subject. Next, conscientious objector. I told you, one who opposes bearing arms or who objects to any type of military training and service. In foreign countries, in India, it is voluntary. You are not forced to join in military service. But in America and UK, some other countries, joining in military is compulsory. So, if someone is not at all interested to join in the military, they are called conscientious objectors. Generally, such people are imprisoned. They are thrown into prisons. Next, anthology. Anthology is a collection of literary works. That means collection of poems, collection of short stories, like that. Bibliography, list of the books referred to in a scholarly work. That means list of books referred, placed in a journal article or in a newspaper article, like that. Unappetizing. Appetizing means giving hunger. That means feeling interested to eat something. Unappetizing means unattractive. Some food is there, but it is not at all attractive. You are not interested. So it is called unappetizing, not inviting or attractive. Dogmatic means a statement. A dogmatic statement means forcibly asserted as if it is unchallengeable. That means if I say, I am only correct, we know the movie dialogue, that means I am a monarch and whatever I say is correct. You cannot challenge me. Like that. So dogmatic means, in Telugu we say, నేను పట్టుకున్న కుందేలుకి మూడే కాళ్ళు అనే మనస్తత్వం అంటాం. అంటే ఏంటి? మూర్ఖముగా తన అనుకున్న అభిప్రాయానికే స్టిక్ అయిపోయి ఉండటము. అలాంటి మనుషుల్ని డాగ్మాటిక్ పీపుల్ అంటారు. అటువంటి స్టేట్మెంట్స్ని, అలాంటి ప్రకటనలను కూడా డాగ్మాటిక్ స్టేట్మెంట్ అంటారు. దట్ మీన్స్ a person who feels that his statement or his talk is unchallengeable. So these are the difficult words that we used in the introduction about the author. Now let's go to the lesson. How to avoid foolish opinions. What is an opinion? Can someone say? What is an opinion? Maithili? What is the meaning of opinion? We say, this is my opinion. I don't like your opinion. Like that. Prasanti? Lavanya? What is the meaning of opinion? Tell in your own words. Yeah, your phone voice is clear. Opinion means a personal thought. A personal thought. It may be accepted by others or not. Foolish abhiprayam, we say in Telugu. So this is my opinion, means idi na. So foolish opinions means wrong opinions. wrong impressions, wrong thoughts. That means we are not actually correct. Foolish మనకి తెలుసు అంటే మూర్ఖపు అభిప్రాయాలు, పనికి మాలిన అభిప్రాయాలు, idiomatic thoughts. How to avoid? Avoid means to remove, get rid of. That means how not to have foolish ideas or foolish opinions. అంటే మన అభిప్రాయాలు మూర్ఖపు అభిప్రాయాలుగా మారకుండా లాజికల్గా ఉండే కరెక్ట్ అభిప్రాయాలుగా ఉండాలంటే ఏమి చేయాలి? ఈ పాఠం యొక్క టైటిల్ అది. హౌ టు అవాయిడ్, రిమూవ్ foolish opinions. All of us have many foolish opinions. For example, if we belong to one caste, we have wrong opinions about the people of other caste. If we belong to one religion, we have wrong, totally incorrect opinions about other religions. Or if we belong to one state, Andhra Pradesh, and we have wrong opinions about the other people, maybe of other states, or people of other language, other region, other country. That means without verifying the facts, many people tend to enter into false opinions. That is common human nature. So this particular how to avoid foolish opinions essay is taken from a larger essay titled An Outline of Intellectual Rubbish. That means rubbish means wasteful thing, dust. Intellectual rubbish. Intellectual means related to intelligence. That means it is intelligent wasteful thing. That means some people think that they are intelligent, but their opinions are very foolish opinions. So to avoid the various foolish opinions to which mankind are prone, no superhuman genius is required. That means to avoid wrong opinions, you don't need to become a superhuman genius. We call some intellectuals, he is a genius. That is a very, very intelligent person. But here Bertrand Russell tells, to remove your foolish opinions, you need not be a superhuman genius. A few simple rules will keep you not from all errors, but from silly error. All errors we may not remove, but doing small mistakes or small errors can be avoided if we know certain rules. A few simple rules. Understand? So, Lavanya, can you please read the text? The first point is the essay, original essay written by Bertrand Russell, which we are reading now. Yeah, please, Lavanya. Lavanya, can you read? Maithili.
Sir?
Yes. Close your mic, Lavanya, please. Maithili, can you read?
Yes, sir.
Please.
If the matter is one that can be settled by observation, make the observation yourself.
Yeah, read it.
Aristotle could have avoided the mistake of thinking that women have fewer teeth than men by the simple device of asking Mr. Aristotle to keep her mouth open. Will you count it? He did not do say so because the thought he now thinking that you know when when in fact you did not. He is a what?
Fatal mistake.
Don't is
Fatal
a fatal
mistake.
mistake to which we are all
Hmm.
prone. I believe myself
That
I believe myself that said that
hedgehogs.
it's harm eat black beetles because I have been told that they do. But if I were writing a book on the habits of
Hedgehogs.
hedgehogs, I should not comment myself until I had seen one enjoying this un, unpainted,
Unappetizing diet.
unappetizing diet.
Hmm.
Aristotle, however, was less contextual,
Cautious.
conscious,
Cautious.
conscious,
Cautious. Cautious.
conscious.
Hmm.
Isn't it? And made really a thoughts now all about unicorns and salamanders. Not one of them thought it necessary to avoid dogmatic statements about them because he had never seen one of them. Sir,
Yeah.
opinion అంటే మన సెల్ఫ్ డిసిషన్ సార్.
Very good, very good. So it is your self decision. Decision అంటే మన నిర్ణయం, అభిప్రాయం అన్నమాట. That is, for example, about certain person. For example, about a lecturer. Different students have different opinions కదా. అందరికి ఒకే లెక్చరర్ ఆయన చెప్పే విధానం నచ్చాలని ఉంటుందా?
నో సార్.
ఉండదు. అంటే నీ వ్యక్తిగతంగా నువ్వు అనుకునే అభిప్రాయం, ఒపీనియన్. గుడ్. Yes, it is. It differs from individual to individual. But some opinions are very foolish. That means they do not have any reasoning. That's what Aristotle tells. Yeah, Maithili, you can you can mute your mic. Thank you. See, he says how to avoid the first point. He says, if the matter is one that can be settled by observation, make the observation yourself. For example, regarding certain and certain persons, we hear someone telling, we never see the person, but some other person says that so and so person is not good, not fair, and not helpful, like that. So listening to that one, we frame certain opinions, but we never try to find out with our own observation. Here Russell says, the writer Bertrand Russell says, if the matter is one that can be settled by observation, make the observation yourself. Whether the other person's opinion is correct or not, what he is saying is correct or not, if you can observe, it will be easy for you to know the fact. For example, if someone says, there are some cows in our village which have only 2 legs. Understand? He says that, yes, I know, it is in my village, there are only 2 legs. But we know that there are 4 legs. If he challenges and if he asks you to believe, you can ask him, okay, take me there, I will observe it. If it is true, then I will say yes. Otherwise, I will say wrong. Understand? That means certain things which can be settled by observation, why to argue? It is better you observe it. Aristotle could, he now, Bertrand Russell is referring to the Greek scholar Aristotle's wrong opinion. Please don't think that fools only have foolish opinions. Very intelligent people also have wrong opinions. Scholars also have foolish opinions. Aristotle is considered as the greatest intellectual person, but Aristotle's statements also are found to be wrong by later people. One example the writer is referring. Aristotle could have avoided the mistake of thinking that women have fewer teeth than men by the simple device of asking Mrs. Aristotle to keep her mouth open while he counted. He did not do so because he thought he knew. Who is Aristotle? Let's try to find out who is Aristotle first. Aristotle was a Greek philosopher and polymath. I told you the meaning of polymath. Who is a polymath? A person who is intelligent in many fields. A person who has a knowledge in more than one field is called polymath. Aristotle was a Greek philosopher. He belongs to Greece. And polymath during the classical period in ancient Greece. He was taught by Plato, his guru, his teacher was Plato. He was the founder of Lyceum, the peripatetic school of philosophy and the Aristotelian tradition. Aristotle is known for his great knowledge in many fields. But even Aristotle also made a mistake. What mistake did he do? Aristotle told that women have lesser number of teeth compared to men. Teeth, we know. These are teeth. He said, ladies have lesser number of teeth. Men have more teeth. But that is wrong. Biologically or medically, it is proved wrong. All have equal number or there is no difference. That means your gender doesn't decide the number of your teeth. Aristotle, such a great intellectual person, also made a wrong statement. Now, he says, Bertrand Russell says, had Mr. Aristotle observed the teeth of his wife, he wouldn't have made that mistake. Aristotle could have observed his own wife before making the statement. That means, however intelligent we are, we also tend to make foolish comments sometimes if we don't observe ourselves. Because he thought that he knew. Some people think that they know everything and they make wrong statements. But Bertrand Russell says that don't ever make wrong statements without observing yourself. Next, thinking that you know when in fact you don't know is a fatal mistake, dangerous mistake. Some people don't know anything, but they pose as if they know everything. I know. And he says everything about Narendra Modi garu, Pradhana Mantri, and everything about the Chief Minister, everything about cinema heroes. As if he is a family member, he goes on giving statements. He doesn't know anything, unfortunately, but he poses as if he knows everything. So thinking that you know when in fact you don't know is a great mistake to which we are all prone. Not one person, all of us do the mistake, including the teachers. Sometimes we give wrong statements and we try to defend them. And we know, as teachers, we know everything. But sometimes students know better than us in certain fields related to computers, mobile phones. You know pretty well. So why should I post that I am very knowledgeable? I should agree that I don't know certain things. I should take the help of the students. I believe myself that hedgehogs eat black beetles. Now, Russell is telling that hedgehogs, a type of animal, they eat black beetles. That is the opinion I have. Whether it is true or not, I must observe. I must look at the hedgehog. Let me show you what hedgehog means. This is hedgehog, Mulla Odata. It is a spiny mammal of the subfamily. Spines means mullu undadam. A spiny mammal of the subfamily Erinacinae in the Eulipotyphlan family, Erinaceidae. That means it is the biological name. Hedgehogs have a coat of stiff, sharp spines. You can observe the spines here. These are very sharp. They become like a ball when any other animal attacks them. So other animals, they cannot attack them because of the nails or because of the spines they have. If attacked, they will curl into a prickly and unappetizing ball that deters. That means others cannot eat it. Other animals cannot eat because the spines are there, dangerous spines. So this is a hedgehog, and these are called black beetles. That means these sort of insects we see at our home. పేడ పురుగులు లాంటివి అవి ఉంటాయి కదా చిన్న చిన్నవి, those are called beetles. Black beetles are a common type of insects that are found in our homes and backyards. Some species of black beetle are completely harmless. Understand? Bertrand Russell now says that I have my own opinion that hedgehogs eat black beetles, but whether my opinion is correct or not, I must observe the daily habits of hedgehogs, what they are eating. Then only I can make those statements. Of course, if a scientist makes a statement, you need not observe again yourself. But if it is not proven by a scientist, you cannot make false statements. And he says once again, Aristotle, however, was less cautious. Aristotle was not cautious. Cautious means becoming very careful. Aristotle was not careful when he made the statement. When you are making certain statements, you must be very careful. Understand? If some friend comes and he asks you your opinion about certain and certain boy, my cousin is going to marry that boy, what type of a person is he? And you don't know, you tell that you don't know. But don't say all false statements about the person, which spoils the entire relation. Understand? So that's what he says. Aristotle, however great he might be, however intellectual he might be, he also made false statements because of his foolish opinion. Ancient and medieval authors knew all about unicorns and salamanders. That means unicorn mean onti kommu gurram. In our Janapada tales also we have Panchakalyani gurram we say, Rekkala gurram we say. That means a horse with wings. We don't know. They don't exist now. But in the medieval stories, old stories, ancient stories, all such animals are given here. You can see the unicorn, it has a corn means kumu. Understand? Uni means a single. So unicorn, a mythological animal, which is not real. It was in that Janapada stories, folk tales, or mythological, మతపరమైనటువంటి కథలలో ఇలాంటి జంతువుల గురించి చెప్పబడుతూ ఉంటాయి. Mythological animal resembling a horse or a goat with a single horn on its forehead. The unicorn appeared in early Mesopotamian artworks. In old artworks, we can see these animals. Salamanders are a group of amphibians typically characterized by a lizard-like appearance. They appear like lizards, but they live in water. Understand? So, our ancient people know about these, but they wrote all, or they don't know, but they wrote many wrong stories with these characters. That's what he says. Not one of them thought it necessary to avoid dogmatic statement. Dogmatic statement means which I feel is correct. Understand? And which cannot be convinced by logic. They had never seen them. Now, let us go further. Yeah, Nagendra, can you read the screen, please?
Sir.
Yeah, can you just read what is appearing on the screen?
Chappan, sir.
No, just read. I am asking you to read what is appearing on the screen. Kanabadutonda screen matter?
Kanabadutundi, sir.
Just read it.
Sir, screen మీద నాకు ఏం కనబడతలేదు సార్ అది.
అదేంటి మ్యాటర్ కనబడుతోంది అని అన్నా? You said that it is.
మీరు కనబడుతున్నారు సార్.
నేను కనబడుతున్నాను. You turn to the other side, then the matter would be visible because I am presenting it. Presentation కనబడటం లేదా?
ఏంటి సార్?
Presentation, is it not visible?
లేదు సార్, కనబడతలేదు సార్.
Lavanya, is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just read it. Okay, Nagendra, you can switch off. I mean, you can mute. Make it silent mode. Yeah, Lavanya, could you please read it?
Many matter have you had less than testy, but to the test of explanation, lick most of many things you have. Personation continues on very soon. First, there are ways in which you can make yourself aware of you and build. If an open continue of your main make you that is sting the you are where we having our good reason for thank you taking as you do as someone many things that two and two were live five or the listening is in the April field right then uncle you can little of explanations that is open and stop your one continuous.
Lavanya, when you are reading, you have to be very careful. Just listen to me how I am reading. Observe. Later on, you read carefully. Okay. So many matters, however, are less easily brought to the test of experience. He says, Bertrand Russell in the first point said, if observation is possible, make observation. You observe yourself before giving your opinion. But he says, many matters are less easily brought to the test of experience. It is not a very easy thing to experience. If, like most of mankind, you have passionate convictions on many such matters, then there are ways in which you can make yourself aware of your own bias. That means some people have convictions, nammakalu. అంటే వాళ్ళ నమ్మకాలు విశ్వాసాలు ఎంత గట్టిగా ఉంటాయి అని అంటే ఇతరులు దానిని ఇది కరెక్ట్ కాదు అని చెప్పారంటే ఒప్పుకోరు. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, till 15th or 16th century when Galileo was there, అంతవరకు కూడా ఇతర పాశ్చాత్య దేశాలలో భూమి బల్లపరుపుగా ఉండేది అని నమ్మేవారు. That means people used to think that the earth was flat. When the scientists said, no, it is like a globe, it is round, immediately that scientist was imprisoned. Because they said, our religious texts are saying that the earth is flat, religion is saying earth is flat, how can you say that it is round? But later on, it was proved that earth was in a spherical shape. It was in a round shape. Understand? That means particularly in religion, when the religious institutions dominate the society, they force wrong opinions upon the people. They don't agree the right opinions given by the scientists. So it is not easy, Russell is saying. If an opinion contrary to your own makes you angry, that is a sign that you are subconsciously aware of having no good reason for thinking as you do. Very important in our daily life, we are like this only. We become sometimes very angry upon others when an argument comes, saying that I am correct, I know it. If you don't believe me, you can go. That means actually internally we know that there is no reason behind our argument, but because I said the statement, I wanted to defend it. I say something, I wanted to protect my statement. I wanted to prove that I am correct. I know internally that there is no logic, there is no reason, there is no support. Still, my ego comes as a hurdle to accept the other person's opinion. If someone maintains that 2 into R 5, for example, if someone says, wow, all of us are aware of that 2 into 2 2s are 4. రెండు రెళ్ళు 4 అని తెలుసు మనకి. But someone says 2 2s are 5. 2 into R 5. We cannot get angry. We can only pity. వాడి మీద జాలి పడాలంటే. అంటే he is not having any knowledge. Or someone may say Iceland, the country Iceland is on the equator. Equator means Bhumajya Rekha. Iceland, it is not on the equator. It is the North Pole. అంటే ఒక ధ్రువంలో ఉంది. ఇట్స్ ఏ పోలార్ కంట్రీ. ఎందుకంటే ధ్రువాల దగ్గర చల్లగా ఉంటుంది. చల్లగా ఉండే దేశం కనుక దాన్ని ఐస్లాండ్ అన్నారు. అలాంటిది వాడు ఎవరో లేదు లేదు నాకు తెలుసు ఐస్లాండ్ అనే కంట్రీ భూమధ్య రేఖ మీద ఉంది అని అన్నాడు అనుకోండి, వాడి మీద కోపం తెచ్చుకోలేము. వాడి యొక్క జాగ్రఫీ నాలెడ్జ్ గురించి మనం జాలి పడటం తప్పిస్తాడు. అలాగే 2 రెళ్ళు 5 అని ఎవరైనా అన్నారు అనుకోండి, వాడి మీద కోప్పడి ఉపయోగం ఏం లేదు, వాడికి నాలెడ్జ్ లేదనేది అర్థమవుతుంది. అంటే ఇలా ఉంటాయి కొందరు ఒపీనియన్స్. వాడికి నాలెడ్జ్ ఉండదు, కానీ వాళ్ళకి తోచినటువంటి స్టేట్మెంట్ ఇచ్చి వాళ్ళ ఒపీనియన్ సత్యంగా భ్రమింపజేసే ప్రయత్నం చేస్తారు. అండర్స్టాండ్? నెక్స్ట్ వన్, the most savage controversies are those about matters as to which there is no good evidence either way. అత్యంత ప్రమాదకరమైనటువంటి స్టేట్మెంట్స్ ఏమిటి ఈ ప్రపంచంలో అని అంటే కనుక, లేదా గొడవలు ఎప్పుడు వస్తాయి, సంఘర్షణలు ఎప్పుడు వస్తాయని అంటే సాక్ష్యం లేనప్పుడు. when there is no good evidence either way, not with A, not with B, but both are arguing. If 2 people are arguing and one person shows the evidence, no problem. Other person, whether he is convinced or not, the opinion of A will be correct. But A is saying something, B is saying something, but both do not show evidence. Saksham ledu, but they are arguing. So it is not a, it is only, it is a savage controversy, means it is a beastly controversy. అనాగరికమైనటువంటి కాంట్రవర్సీ లాంటిది అని అంటున్నారు. ఎందుకని ఇద్దరు ఆర్గ్యూ చేసుకుంటున్నారు, కానీ ఇద్దరి దగ్గర ఎవరి దగ్గర ఎవిడెన్స్ లేదు. ఎవరు చెప్తున్నది వాళ్ళకి కరెక్ట్ అని అనేస్తున్నారు, కానీ చూపించైతే ఎవిడెన్స్ అంటే no one is able to show the evidence. Persecution is used in theology, not in arithmetic, because in arithmetic there is knowledge, but in theology there is only opinion. Theology ante study of religion, matamu. Religion ante matam telusu, theology ante matamu gurinchi అధ్యయనం చేయడం. మతానికి సంబంధించినంత వరకు పర్సెక్యూషన్ ఉంటుంది. పర్సెక్యూషన్ అంటే మన అభిప్రాయాలని గౌరవించని వాడిని, నమ్మని వాడిని వాడిపైన దాడి చేయడం అన్నమాట, వాడిని హెరాస్ చేయడం పెర్సిక్యూషన్. Persecution is used in theology. The religious heads, if they find someone is questioning the religious text, they will imprison him or they will want to punish him. But in mathematics, there cannot be two opinions. 2 2s are 4, that's it. Because arithmetic, there is a knowledge. In religion, there is only opinion. You cannot say this religion only is great, that religion is not great. It is your opinion. Understand? So whenever you find yourself getting angry about a difference of opinion, be on your guard. Very, very important. We become angry unnecessarily. If you have any evidence, show it. Otherwise, keep silent. Understand? So you will probably find on examination that your belief is going beyond what the evidence warrants. That means if you go on analyzing, sometimes you may get the right evidence or sometimes you may not get the evidence. Then you will understand what is wrong. See, don't think that you should always be correct. So if you are wrong, proved wrong, accept it. Know that, okay, I am wrong. Till now I had this opinion and now I have to change my opinion. That is the best thing one can do. And a good way of ridding yourself of certain kinds of dogmatism is to become aware of opinions held in social circles different from your own. Now, Bertrand Russell is giving us a very, very valuable suggestions. If you want to have right opinion, you make friendship with the persons who belong to other communities, other sections, other religions, and so that you can observe. Then you will find whether your opinion is correct or not. As an example, he is saying that when he was young, he used to travel many countries, not his own countries. That means he belongs to England, but he traveled France, Germany, Italy, and the United States. And he found this very profitable in diminishing the intensity of insular prejudice. For example, as people, we know in rural villages, rural areas, we have wrong opinions or false opinions on the people of belonging to some other caste or some other village, some other place. Or we have wrong opinions. If you are a villager, the city people are like this. If you are a person living in the city, villagers are like this. So all of us have wrong opinions. To prove whether your opinion is correct or not, better you go and spend some time at that place or with that person. Then you will come to know whether your opinion is correct or not. If you cannot travel, at least read a newspaper, he says. And even within the newspapers also, we know the opinions differ. He finally says that you cannot say that both are wrong. Both are correct from their perspectives. For example, for the online class, students' attendance is very, very less. I have my opinion that students are not interested in the class. They are lazy. They don't want to learn anything. That's why they are not attending. That's purely my personal opinion. I should think from the perspective of students. I should place myself in their shoes and think whether I am correct or not. Because some students say that they have power cut, no charging was possible. Some say that there is raining and no signals are there. Some say that they don't have any mobile at all because of the poor background, family background. You cannot buy a smartphone, that's why you couldn't access. So these are the problems that you face. So I need, before making any false opinion or making any wrong statement, I should try to understand from your side. That's what he says. Bertrand Russell says that to avoid foolish opinions, you need to think like this. One is to observe personally, and another one is to experience something which is not always easy, and to have good reasons for what you are thinking, and to show evidence when you want to make your statement is correct, and to think from the side of others before framing our opinions. Okay, so the remaining part of the lesson we shall see in the next class. Okay, thank you.
Sir,
Yes, please.
అదే క్లాస్ అయిపోయాక పెడతాన్నారు సార్ అదే అడ్మిషన్ నెంబర్.